Hey, Hardin County, do you remember this Let's Take a Look tour at Custom Torso? And do you also remember this little section?
Where's your new? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Way in the backs are automatic present.
Well, the next day I went back and got a whole tour of how the whole system works, and I would love to share that with you now. So let's go take a look.
Some glue on this that'll help keep the shirt from moving. When you put multicolored shirts down, you don't want the shirt to move in between. And this is just a test print. We haven't seen if this is going to line up perfect yet, so this will let us know. So yeah, we'll just make it do its thing. I'm fully prepared that this one won't look perfect. But once it prints the white, it's going to go then to this flash dryer. As the day goes on, I can lessen the time, but for right now, it's probably about 8 or 9 seconds. So then once that's done, it'll go all the way back around because I want one more coat of white on this print.
Oh, okay.
So it looks nice and bright. So.
Otherwise, would you do other colors in these stations?
Absolutely, yeah. If let's say this was like a 6-color print, I could have a color in each one of these.
But it doesn't dry them after every one.
No, and it really depends on the artwork because some artwork you can get lucky and I can put red, blue, yellow without having to dry in between, and those will go really fast.
Oh, because the colors aren't actually mixing.
Yeah, if they don't touch, or sometimes you want them to blend. But
Oh,
other
yeah.
days, every color has to flash, so those will take a little longer because you have to print and then cycle back around. So now it's flashing a second coat of white.
Okay.
And it'll go back around, but then
And it's going to come here.
Yeah, it'll come to our black. Yeah, definitely. I have to kind of set all the parameters for that, and then it just kind of keeps them stored, and then just does what I tell it. So, but yeah, you definitely, as the operator, are still trying to orchestrate quite a bit. But and so that's the finished product, and
Oh,
it actually
wow.
looks like we got it lined up pretty well. But yeah, this is just a test shirt, so it's all these things will have to be taped off. Those are registration marks we use, especially on like larger orders like this, because this is probably maybe 2 days front back on a manual press like Leslie's doing up there, but back here it'll maybe an hour and a half. It depends on how fast I'm moving and stuff, because really the machine ends up waiting on me a lot of times.
So, like, if this is done, your next step is
Yeah,
to.
absolutely. So then I carry it over here, and this is our conveyor dryer. It's a lot like a pizza oven, but meant for t-shirts. And what that'll do is this ink is called plastisol. It's a plastic base for it to cure, and that way you can launder it and it won't wash off. It'll get up to probably about 350 degrees, which will make that ink about 320.
And this has two designs, or maybe you just did the two designs.
No, this shirt actually does have 2 designs. We're getting right. That's the back we're putting on it, and this is the front that I've already put on.
Oh, wow. So then you'll put that through the whole process, and then the oven thing.
Yeah.
And then you'll do the back side?
Yep. So since we've got all the fronts done, once I get those registration tapes off, then we'll just load all of the backs, run those backs through, and then that order's done.
All right, now that you have this big machine, what kind of quantities can you do with this?
Yeah, so with just Leslie and I, probably the max per day would be maybe 600 or 700, depending on the design and the amount of colors. So, now we're kind of focusing on, going after those larger industrial orders, or if there's a big event that's going on and they need 3 or 4 or 500 shirts, like we can definitely take that on, and it'll make it a lot easier. So, but yeah, so we're local, but we're definitely able to help with those bigger orders that maybe in the past places thought they had to always go out.
All right, so out of curiosity, we are just going to look at the manual press. And so the glue's on there. She's putting the ink on. That looks like it takes a lot of arm strength.
It does. It takes a lot of pressure to clear it through the fine mesh.
Yeah, so she's printing halftones on there. They're going to actually tie-dye these when they're all done.
Oh, okay.
So their mascot in the middle, we did a halftone on, and that way some of the color from the tie-dye
All right.
will come through.
Oh, see, I missed that step. You were so calm, but you actually put it underneath the little heater.
Yeah, it does
Okay.
flash it real quick.
Because this is just a one color, like you said.
Yep.
Okay.
Front only, and then when they get them all, they're gonna have like a day where they tie-dye them. So
this is your like shading that
Yep.
you call?
almost like a comic book
Yeah.
or newspaper, the halftone.
Right.
We always say every print has a speed limit, and it really depends on the artwork and so many variables. So
Well, absolutely incredible, and have learned a ton, and so just super grateful that you guys can't get over the amount of strength that takes.
It's like
So,
doing a push-up, but
It really
yeah.
literally,
is.
Yeah. All right. So this is your transparency.
yep. And before, like, if this screen was completely coated and hadn't had an image on it yet, this stuff's called emulsion. We coat that as a liquid. We put on a bare screen that's been cleaned and dried. And when ultraviolet rays hit this, it starts to harden or expose, they call it. The transparencies, when you go to back there to burn them, you'll take this to the back of the screen, and then you'll put it on the light box. And depending on the design, it kind of dictates the time. But wherever this was taped, that ultraviolet ray, it's not getting through. So when you get done at the light box, then you'll take it back to the washout booth, and wherever you pull the film off. And when it hits with water, those areas that didn't get the ultraviolet light, they're weaker and softer, and so
And
that
they just
water
fall
will
away.
just start making it wash away.
Huh.
And then once it's fully rinsed, then you end up with a stencil like this. You just let the screen dry, like the water to dry off of it, and then after that you can put it on the press and start printing. And if you did everything right, I mean, you could print 500 shirts and it'll hold up. You could put it against the wall and come back 3 months later and print 500 more and it'll hold up. So
Really?
yeah, the ultraviolet, once it's exposed right, it really doesn't break down. It's like once the order's done, we clean the ink out. We have a dunk tank that we can put these in, and then you basically can power wash it back to bare the original state, and then dry, and then recoat it, and then the next job goes on. The screen that we were going to use on a order that we just had, but there was a little blemish in it, and we had to make another one. But I don't know if you can see in the light, but this is just tons of little tiny dust-like
Oh,
dots
yeah.
called halftones, but that allows us to do the shading.
And this would be for one color?
Yep, one color. I think this was
Wow.
the black screen, so
Yeah.
there was 5 additional to make the flyer on the wall over there. But
Wow.
and the halftones are kind of tricky. You have to make sure like your exposure times are perfect, and because if you go too long on the light unit that makes these screens.
Where's the burner?
I can show you. This closet's the dark room, and then we had people yesterday, so I had to move some stuff in it. But it's really just an ultraviolet light box. It's the one back in the corner that says base layer. But that's just ultraviolet light.
Wow.
And put it on there. A screen like this is only 5 seconds that it takes to expose.
And it burns the little holes in it. Well, very good. Well, I will let you guys get back to your work.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank you
much.
guys.
Yep, thank you.